all the tabs open, almost infinite tabs. You say, I will get back to it. I gotta cover this subject. I don't want to forget. Eventually one day you're in a very important meeting. You need your laptop, you need your phone. The audience is listening to the speaker. Everything is quiet. And then there's music playing from your phone. You're trying to find out where it's from. You're trying to shut things off, but it froze. You simply can't tell where it's coming from. It's kind of embarrassing. And then you soon realize your phone is crashing, is shutting down. Your computer is not responding. That is your brain on burnout. We deal with burnout in Western civilizations because it is a very demanding and time-based civilization. The rest of the world that is pretty modernized, we are realizing the same issue. There's almost no time. We can hear billionaires telling us there is no such thing as work-life balance. You're just lazy, they're telling you. But it's not true. We are working endlessly. Everybody wants a piece of us. Today we're going to talk about the cardinal philosophy. And we're going to talk about the pillar, which is the archetype, the sacred rest. It is a psychological archetype that I've developed. And there's many of them. But the sacred rest is going to be what transforms your life into the peace that you need as you are productive in your daily life. If you're feeling anxious all the time and you don't know why, you're irritated for absolutely zero reasons. You don't know, everything bothers you. Things that you like irritate you. Things that you don't like, it's even worse. Your phone rings and you see who's calling, and you sigh. Over and over again, you're going through that same cycle where you're just irritated. Why? Because you're burned out. You probably also made the famous mistake, which is everyone knows you're the smart one. That's a good thing that you're smart. It's not always so good where everyone knows that. Your boss gives you a heavier load because they could depend on you. Sounds good until they never reward you for it. Same thing with family. Everybody wants you. Maybe you have aging parents or grandparents. All your siblings have left them to you because you're the smart one. You can figure it out. They tell you they like to deal with you. You know, grandma rather when you do it. That's not necessarily true. They just don't want to do it. And it's all yours now. We all been there. We all know about it. We have the newborn baby, things to fix around the house, the car that needs maintenance, the list goes on. Today I'm going to cover the 5 points that goes with the 4th pillar of the cardinal key, the archetype, the sacred rest. Let's just get into it. The sacred rest. Point 1. Rest is not a commercial luxury, but a philosophical reclamation of your inherent right to exist without the obligation to be useful. Welcome back. Oftentimes, we believe that we must justify why we need to rest. But it is your inherent right. That is the first point of this cardinal pillar. You do not need to justify to the world or to anyone why you need rest. This justification is like a unsanctioned currency, something that is not legalized, not demanded, but somehow required, that you justify. And if you do not justify, they feel like you are incapable of rest, like you just shouldn't take an off day. You don't need a mental rest day. You don't need to stop and breathe and meditate and do any form of therapy because the baby needs you, the elderly parents need you, grandma, grandpa needs you, the job needs you, your friend at work needs you. That coworker that barely does anything decide to take another day off right when you were planning to, and they need you. Everybody is just pulling you to the side. And in order for you to say, hey, I'm tired, they go, what's going on? You need a day off? Okay. Is something happening? No, nothing's happening. I need a day off, okay? I need help from my husband. I need help from my wife. I need help from my parents, from my siblings, to help me with my parents. There's nothing wrong with needing help. We all need rest at some point. You do not need to justify to anyone why you need that rest, which is why I use the word sacred, not because it's spiritual in any sense, but it is valuable to your very essence. Your very essence need to rest. That currency is your fatigue. That currency is your exhaustion. Now, think about that for a second. How many times have you needed some time off and you had to go to someone and ask them or tell them, or even a little embarrassed to do so? Even when you were granted, which is absurd, this rest, you feel guilty. You're constantly thinking, is it going to get done right? Only because you're having a hard time accepting that you deserve this rest. Number 2, position deep silence as the only medium through which your essence can speak, reclaiming the institution that is silenced by the noise of constant productivity. Yes, silence. It's a great reset. If you're realizing this pause that I'm giving here, and you will realize between my speech, as I'm doing this pause, you feel this sense of calm. It is not because I'm speaking any calmer. I'm using the same tone, the same volume as before. But instead of speaking as fast as I was before, I've slowed it down. This mental technique is paramount in the Cardinal philosophy in which I've developed. I'm sharing it with you to show you what it feels like. And this pause is not only in speech, it is in your mind. It is looking at the stopwatch on your phone, the stopwatch around your neck or your wrist. You put 5 minutes. You close your eyes and you breathe in through your nose and out of your mouth. That pause was physical. That pause was mental. That pause was respiratory. Even your breathing can take a pause. Slowing down your heart rate is a pause in between every beat. Remember, the pause, that inherent silence, you need that in order to reset. You need that in order to heal your essence, your inner being. And by your essence, I'm talking about who you are. And if you don't know how to find it and you're in search of it, subscribe, because I will definitely be diving into it. You need to find out who you are, and you cannot do that when everyone is defining you. I'm gonna repeat, you need to know and find out who you are, but you cannot do that when everyone is defining you. According to your job, you are somebody. And then your job picked the biggest psycho in the workplace, the person that they really shouldn't trust because they smile at the boss and they always in their faces. They promoted them. And then you have that maniac defining who you are. We all know someone like that in the workplace who's been promoted. The person that oftentimes demands from you nonstop. The one that propels your burnouts. The one that gives you a load of work and then call you right in the middle of it. What are you doing? I need you to stop right now. What's going on? I need you to do something else that needs to be done by the end of the night. And then you look at it, it doesn't need to be done for 2 months from now. But you follow instructions and you do it. And when you're done, they ask you, what about the other things I gave you? What's taken so long? Yeah, you're trying your best not to yell at somebody. I know. We all been there. Some of us are still there right now. In order to find out who you are, within that silence, within that pause, you cannot allow everyone else to define you. Take the pause, take the break in between, and discover who you are. Number 3, your pause as a defiant declaration of sovereignty. We see a different aspect of the pause. The pause is your rebellion. It is your defiance. It is your ability to say no. And most importantly, it is your ability to say, not right now. Not every no means forever no. When you have people in your life and you tell them not right now, and then they accelerate, they push, oh, it's only this little thing I'm asking you. It would only take a second. No, not right now. And you need to get people to respect that. That is your defiance. That is your rebellion. That is a different aspect of the pause that I just covered in the previous point. It is not just the break that you need, the silence in between your speech. That pause is your defiance. It is you rejecting everything being pushed onto you. Everyone telling you, you're the nurse, you're the police officer, you're the mental health specialist, you're the mother, you're the best cook in the house, you're the cleaning person, you're the usher at the church, you're the member of the mosque, you have a task. Everyone is defining you. But within your mind, you don't have any control over your mind or your heart. You need your quiet defiance. That pause is a defiant moment of you reclaiming your self-autonomy. You becoming who you are, finding who you are, claiming who you are, and not being ashamed of that person, refining that person, building that person every day. Number 4, the essence level boundaries that serve as personal guardrails, protecting the sanctity of your inner peace from a world that demands your depletion. We go into what a lot of the people that gotten used over the years taking advantage of you, constantly asking you to give them more. They look at you like, you all right? You don't look so good. And then proceed to ask you for something. They notice your eyes are red. Your eyes are really red. You know, are you okay? You know, what's, you seem tired, or were you crying? Oh, all right, you sure you okay? All right, oh, you're going through a lot. I get it. It's tough. You know, I wanted to ask you this one thing. If you could just do me a favor real quick. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like a fake sympathy. They want out of you, even when they notice you might be at your worst. This is when you set boundaries, when you say no, when you say not right now. One of my favorites is someone comes to me and they ask me for something. If I'm feeling a little burnt out, I would oftentimes tell them, no problem, I can do it for you, but If you are in a rush, I suggest you find someone else, because it might take me a few days to a week to get around to it. Then you will see if this person really cares. They either A, find someone else, B, wait for you to take as long as you need to get around to them, or they start becoming pushy. It won't take long. It will be quick. Can you look at it by Tuesday? But today's Monday. That's the problem. Those boundaries, you need to set them. As you start setting them, you're gonna start hearing them complain. Well, you're kind of busy nowadays. I know you don't really have time to help me out anymore. You don't really have a lot of time to spare or to give. You're Mr. Busybody. She's always busy since she got married. Yeah, you have a responsibility to your family. And if you enjoy doing that, you shouldn't let anyone infringe on it. That is yours to have. So, your boundaries, enforce them, put them in place. You don't have to be angry, you don't have to justify them. You simply have to put them in place and walk away. Let's look at another point. Number 5, the last point. Transition from surface level self-care into radical self-honesty, where you finally acknowledge that your worth was never something you had to earn through labor. I have a video out for the ladies, and I might have mentioned this before, saying that you don't need to earn the love that you should receive. You see, in this category here, this is when your self-care will be all around and it's 360. You don't need to prove to everyone, as I've said before, why you need rest, why you need to take a break, why you must close a tab in your mind. You don't need to explain to everyone why you need to take a pause when you speak, why you don't need to answer right away. You need to give people time to actually let them understand your boundaries. Let them sink in. Let them see that you now understand that you are worth the rest, the break, that you shouldn't be as burnt out as the first time you let your teenage daughter make the Thanksgiving turkey. You need to start taking care of yourself on a deeper level, a level that focuses on your mind and your heart. You need to combine that care until you can crown yourself with the right balance of mental health. On this channel, I will help you work from within. There will be deep exercises designed by me, a trained hypnotherapist, not to be confused with your traditional talk therapist or psychotherapist. I am also a first responder that helped many people in need of first aid, life-threatening injuries, heart attacks, and I want to share my knowledge with you. We're gonna have a lot of fun on this channel. Today, I hope the 4th pillar of the Cardinal Way sticks with you. I hope you have learned something. Subscribe, and I'll see you again on another healthy session.